Hello students, how are you all? Hope you all are fine and enjoying your studies. Exam are approaching fast, so it is must. Today we are going to see a book review, Swami and Friends by R.K. Narayan from page number 68. First warming up activities there, chit chat. It is expected that teacher should form 3 or 4 groups in the classroom and the groups should discuss on the given topics. The topics are about their favorite book, then what type of the book is. It may be a historical book or a thriller or related with the adventure stories, mystery, so biography, autobiography. So these are the points to discuss. Then science fictions are also there, so what type of book they have read, then the author or the writer, they can discuss about it. Even more information can be added to this. Main character, protagonist or the main character from the stories, these are also can be discussed in this topic. Background, particularly what time is depicted from that story or the place where the events take place. Okay, then the problem or dilemma. It is not necessary that every write-up or every novel discusses about the problems or the dilemmas, but if there is any, you can discuss about it. And any special message, same here. All the stories all the stories never try to give a good message or a special message, but the book you have read have any special message, you can discuss about it, or the moral of the story in one line theme, it is also can be discussed. And that was the chit chat activity. Now dear students, look at the second activity. You have recently read a short story, novel or drama, science fiction, ghost story. Write in short 3 of its strong points that made you like the book and 2 or 3 drawbacks it has. Fill them up in the tree diagram given. The tree diagram is given. To start with, name of book with the author can be written, and there are 2 branches there, strengths and weaknesses. About strengths and weaknesses, same points you can discuss. How the descriptions occur in the novel, or the characterization, how the writer have characterized all the characters from the stories, or literary values, what types of literary values have been included in that particular novel. How is the climax from that story, and how is the style of writing of the writer. If the strength, that means the strong points are more, you can star them excellent or very good, even good with 3 stars. And if the weaknesses are more, you can give 2 stars with average and even 1 star to describe it as a poor performance. So third activity is also there. Determiners, they have introduced determiners here. What are determiners? Determiners are words that modify a noun or noun phrase and occur before them in a sentence. Determiners provide a context to the noun they precede. They may be articles, a and the, demonstrative like these, that, these, those, which, etc. Possessives can be also used as determiners. My, your, own, their, his, her, etc. or my mother's, my father's, etc. Quantifiers can also function as determiners. They are few, many, much, more, every, each, some. And numerals, they are also determiners. 1, 4, 100, 4th, 100th, these are also determiners. Now the activity is given to underline the determiners from these sentences. Fourth activity is that First sentences I am reading. My brother bought a few magazines. From this sentence, few and my brother, that means my. These two words are determiners. In second sentence, what is your friend's name? Your is a determiner here. Which writer was also a president of our country? Our, which, these are the determiners. In fourth sentence, these are some toys. These and some. These two words are the determiners. From fifth sentence, these toys are new. These is a determiner. That doctor is an expert dentist. An is article, and so that is why it is a determiner. And he has many patients. That means he is a determiner here. Now children, here is a simple book review on page number 69, Swami and Friends. It's a beautifully written novel by R.K. Narayan. When we were kids, the serial of this novel used to telecast on DD National, and its title song was very catchy. Whenever we listen to that title song, we run to our televisions, and it was like tandana tandana na na tandana tandana na na. Beautiful caricatures were used as its title pictures. So here is a lesson for you. I am reading its first part. There are 3 parts actually, but I am reading the first part now from page number 69. What is the first part about? A little bit about the book. I am reading it. Anything I mention about the book can be mistakenly understood as spoilers. So, I would rather give a glance into a book without mentioning any events or plots of the story. Swami is a mischievous little kid of about 10 years old and living in the era where India was under the British rule. Like most kids of that age, Swami is a kid who cannot stay at one place and absolutely hates school. Even worse, mathematics. School is his absolute nightmare. Anyway, the story unfolds around the happenings of this kid and how he constantly gets into the trouble and gets a good beating from his father. Swami is a talkative little kid and thinks that's his way of facing life, talking himself out of everything. But he doesn't learn the truth the harsh way. Actually the line is, but he does learn the truth the harsh way. As many teens back then, all he wants to do is play under the sun, kick something, climb a tree, break something and harass somebody, unlike kids today. This in fact was, and in most parts of India still is, the life of a typical boy growing up. Technology isn't big in kids' life. All they want is to play havoc. In what ways is Swami a typical boy in these growing years? In this regard, Narayan gets deeply into the workings of Swami's 10-year-old mind, explaining exquisitely how things and what his perspective of the world is. The reader does feel like Swami and gets very attached with the character as the story progresses. That's the magic of Narayan. In this first part, the reviewer, the person who has written the review, he talks about the book in first paragraph, how the book is. There he says that he will avoid to talk about the character and the events or the plot from the story, because if you listen it, you will misunderstood it as it's nothing but a story of a spoiler. But it is not so actually. It is a story of a mischievous boy named Swami. The title itself tells us a lot. It is Swami and Friends. So the major character in it is Swami, and the other characters are his friends. Some other characters are there too. His mother is there, newborn baby sister is there, his father plays a major role in Swami's life. Swami is 10-year-old guy. He is very mischievous. He doesn't like to sit at one place, just like you children, just like you. He doesn't want to go to school. He is worse at mathematics. So well characterization is done by the author about Swami. He is actually a normal guy. He is very acts very natural, in a natural way. He is very innocent, but his father wants to see him as a studious boy. He wants to see him as a disciplined person, and so that's why clashes are there between two generations. So it is shown in this novel particularly. So in this part, the author or the reviewer gives you a notion about the characterization of Swami, and it is said that in the perspective for this actually R.K. Narayan become like a kid of 10 years old. He writes the novel from his point of view. So he studies the psychology of 10-year-old boy and goes through it in the novel. Okay, now I am reading the second part of this review. Significance of the book. Swami and Friends by R.K. Narayan is not merely an interesting read that could be enjoyed from top to bottom, but the work attributes a lot of literary values, even if it is a teen book. Swami and Friends is a good read for the kids and teens alike. Also, the book is widely used in the Asian continent as a study text for the students who study literature as a subject at schools. This does not mean that the book is filled with heavy grammar and technical jargon. Actually, the truth is in contrary to this. Swami and Friends is written in such a simple English, it is hard to imagine that it is a work of such a literary genius like R.K. Narayan. The English used in this book is both plain, simple, without any troubling words for the kids. Also, the use of simple and short sentences adds to the simplicity of the book. It is mentioned in the description that the book is about a mischievous 10-year-old Indian boy, and some parents may be concerned about the influence this will have on their already mischievous children. But the book is as such that it encompasses the mischief of the kids in a view of the kid which is harmless and pure in his perspective. Also amidst all the mischief and naughtiness, we actually find that Swami is a loving and a tender kid who is actually very sensitive. It is also a known fact that mischievous kids are the most sensitive and loving people of all. And R.K. Narayan does a great job conveying to all of us. So, in conclusion, it can be said that this book is a good read for children of all ages who may just enjoy a good read or who may want to improve their English skills. So it was the second part of this book review. In the first part, the reviewer talks about the book, then he talks about the characterization, and now here is the second part where he talks about where the book stands in world panorama. So a book by R.K. Narayan, it is a very interesting book. It is written exclusively for the teenagers. His reader is a teenager, and keeping it in his mind, he has written the book. So he added some literary values to it because he wants to give good messages to the children through his stories, through Swami's life. Then this book is prescribed in a syllabus in many countries, many Asian countries. In some countries, languages are taught in 3 parts. First paper contains grammar, in the second it contains the literature, and in third writing skills or the composition is included. So where there is a literature purely for the study, R.K. Narayan's book is must there. So many countries have used this book as a technical jargon. Though it is a good book, it does not contain heavy grammar. R.K. Narayan wants his reader to please. He doesn't want his reader to leave the book away and run from it. The bombarding languages, big sentences, large matter. He doesn't want. He just wants to please his reader, his focusing reader. And so that's why he becomes a child. He thoughts, he learns his psychology well, and from his point of view he tries to put forth this Swami in front of you. Swami and Friend is written with a simple sentence construction. Sometimes it becomes very hard to us to believe that such a literary genius R.K. Narayan is. He is an ink slinger man. He is a very exceptional writer. He is a knight of pen. And how come he writes so easily? It must not be his book. It must be written by any other author. But no, sorry children, it is written from the same person, and that's the greatness of Mr. R.K. Narayan. Then it is said that Swami is, though he is mischievous, he is very sensitive. And so in this second part, the reviewer talks about how the entire novel is, what's its importance in world panorama. And at last paragraph he talks about the conclusion. He says that we can say that this book is a good read for not only children but to the elders also. They can also enjoy this novel. Simple English is there, and one who wants to improve their English skills can go through it. And now there is a last part of this review about the author. Here the reviewer talks about the author, his other works. The author of Swami and Friends is India's one of the greatest authors of all time, R.K. Narayan. R.K. Narayan has written a lot literature in English. Actually there are others also. Rabindranath Tagore is there, Sarojini Devi Naidu is there, Nissi Musical, Arun Kolkatkar. So many authors are there who have written in English. Poems, novels are there. But he is the greatest novelist. He proves through Swami and Friends. R.K. Narayan is responsible for many of the outstanding literary works India has ever produced. And this book in particular captures the essence of India. It captures the essence of India. That means you will find the atmosphere which is Indian. You will find the references regarding with Indian culture. Indian names are there. Indian villages are there. So pure Indian atmosphere in English you can find in his novels. Moreover, he depicts the events from the pre-independence. That means British were ruling over India, and at that time most of the novels take place. So, and his book particularly captures the essence of India under British ruling and the mind and life of a typical teenage kid. And in particular Swami and Friends, he talks about the teenagers. Very few writers have tried their hand for writing the teenagers literature, and R.K. Narayan is one of them. Other great works by Narayan include Malgudi Days. Malgudi Days was also a serial from the DD National, and Swami and his friends was a part of it. The Guide, the film is based on his novel. Devanand has acted in it. The Painter of Science and many more literary works such as the Ramayana, the shortened modern prose version of the Indian epic, and the Mahabharata, the shortened modern prose version of Indian epic. So one who wants to read Ramayana or Mahabharata, because these are epics, and one who wants to read Mahabharata and Ramayana, there are shortened versions of it written by R.K. Narayan himself. Go take a look at them if you are interested. It's a review, simple guideline how to write a book review. First part, you may write about the book. Then in second, characterization is a must. Then the literature value, literal values you may find out from this novel. Then where the creation stands in world panorama, its importance. Then next part would be his other works, author. You may talk about the author in the last section. So it was a very simple book review. You also try out such kinds of book review. Not only book review, you can write the movie reviews also. So try them out. All the best.